And now it's going to be a sack. Chris Jones smokes Phillip Rivers right back at the 40.
He's not banking on the skill that he's been blessed with.
The end zone. Kelce, great catch, touchdown, Kansas City.
Russell flings it across his body, and it's caught by Hill. Hill has it.
He came to 30. He's at the 20. Dirty Dan all the way to the end zone.
Hey, we busted out the shirts. The Chiefs have won the AFC West with a victory here and an Oakland loss, and we are here in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Mitch Holthus with you along with Barbershop Shawn Barber. 23-16. Twice in the last 3 seasons, the Chiefs have won here. They had not lost here since October of 2017. What about the guts shown by this Chiefs team today?
Man, we saw a lot of guts. We saw attitude. We saw emotion. All of it peak at the right time. We knew going into this game our offense and defensive line could win the line of scrimmage. We just had to prove it on the field.
Yep. Go back and you can listen to the podcast. We kind of laid this one out. And New England stayed in the game with a block punt. They stayed in the game with trick plays. They stayed in the game with getting a fumble recovery from Kelce. But the Chiefs' defense in this game, this reminded me a lot of the City game against the Chargers. This Chiefs defense, combination of pressure and coverage, was too much for the Patriots to handle.
Yeah, tight coverage, tight pressure, up the middle, up the gut, bringing it right in Tom Brady's face so he could see it. Even when we didn't get there, the pressure was there, and he was feeling it. He was feeling Noddy, Chris Jones. He was feeling Frank Clark off the edge. Those guys did an amazing job all day letting Tom Brady know that even when we're not there, we're still there.
The other thing was defending the run. They had some jet sweeps to the jet sweep for the touchdown. But their base run game, whether it was Michelle or James White, the Chiefs now are learning to play the run.
Yeah, very early on in the game, they tried to feed the running game for 0 yardage, for 1 yardage, for negative yardage. You could tell up front that our guys were really feeding on that run defense, and that kept the chains long for them, and it kept them out of easy third downs.
Offensively, Patrick Mahomes, again, it reminded me of Mexico City. He showed some resourcefulness. His throw off the back foot to get it to McCole Hardman for a 48-yard touchdown. Maybe Aaron Rodgers, but nobody else in the league can do that.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes always has shown to have an exquisite arm talent, and putting that off the back foot to McCole Hardman, that's one of the best throws I've seen in the season. But we still need to continue to press forward, continue to be better. I think if you talk to the offense, you see how they got together, came around each other near the end of the game, and said, we got to win this game. We got to put together enough drives to make sure we can win this game, and they did it.
But again, no fear here. And we got to mention special teams. Butker's been money. He's now the NFL #1 scorer. But also, don't overlook, Colquitt's had a 57-yard punt and a 47-yard punt in crunch time, hammer time, that made New England force them into a long field.
Especially after a punt was already blocked. To have to go back out there and face a 10-man rush, 11-man rush with nobody back, you had to get it away. And not only did he get it away, great bounce. That extended that last drive. Think about it. If they didn't get a long field to go on, that might have been a touchdown drive at the end instead of us holding them to downs, turnover and downs, winning that ball game.
Hey, the universe looks different. The Chiefs win 23-16 here over the New England Patriots. Second time in 3 seasons the Chiefs have won here. Look at it historically. These are 2 giant wins here, and the 1 and 2 seed is back in play. We'll have more coming up in the show. Patrick Mahomes, Frank Clark, and we'll set up next week's game that looms huge for a lot of reasons. So stay tuned.
As far as the injuries go, Andrew Wiley came out with a shoulder and came back, so that was good. You know, Pat hurt his hand early in this game, and you know, it's, you know, we think it's okay, but I mean, we'll see how it goes. But it was hard for him to grip the ball and do the things that he he needed to do there. So, but he powered through it. Didn't say much. You know, that's how he is. So, you know, we'll take an X-ray of it as we go here and MRIs all that stuff that we do. Listen, all in all, a good football game. I think for the fans to watch. I mean, you had 2 good teams playing each other. I mean, the Patriots, their history says, you know, everything. So, and that's what made it such a special game. Bill's done a phenomenal job here, as Tom has, and the rest of their coaches. I'm proud of my coaches, the coordinators. I thought EB had a great plan offensively, Spags defensively. Tobe, you know, from a special team standpoint. So they and the guys stuck to it. The guys played their tail off. So you just knew it was going to come down to the end, and and it did. It did. So we've got to clean some things up. We had too many penalties. We got to take care of that and make sure that we work on that. We got a hot Denver Bronco team coming in, so we've got to take care of, get ourselves ready, get back. A long trip here, so we got to get back and get rested up and get ready for Denver. So with that, time's yours.
Coach, first of all, congratulations on winning the SC West for the fourth straight year. What does that mean to you as the coach, also the owner, and the organization and the team for that?
Yeah, well, I'm partial. I think I've got the best owner around. So I'm partial to that. So it starts there, and he gave us all an opportunity to be here, and we're trying to do the best we possibly can with that chance. So, but it's not one person. It takes everybody. We've all got a part of it. You guys included for supporting us, right? So we're all in it, and there's nothing more than you'd like to see than victories. I'm proud of all our guys.
Coach, you mentioned this. Was Pat at any point close to coming out of the game?
No, but he kept messing with that hand, and I could tell he wasn't gripping all that well. But he never says anything, so I'm not gonna make a big stake out of anything. So.
Coach, you mentioned this slow start, and you.
I'll get you here. Just
in the second half, with penalties and Pat's injury.
Yeah, when we had the turnover. Yeah. The guys bear down. I'm proud of our defense right all the way down to the end. Like I said, I think everybody knew it was going to come down to that, and we got a bunch of things we can clean up and do, but we're going to enjoy this for the flight back, and then we'll get back ready to go against Denver.
Coach, you mentioned a slow start. Can any of that be attributed to the equipment being late to the game?
Yeah, I don't think so. I know Allen takes the grunt of this. That's not probably Allen's had a couple games he's been the equipment man for, so there are other things that got involved, and I just know this: everybody stayed calm, and just it happened. So it wasn't a big deal, and that I've been doing it for a lot of years, and one out of how many ever years I've been doing it, it keeps things exciting.
Were you all nervous that it wasn't going to show up?
No, not at all. I think everybody did a good job of getting it back here. We had plenty of time, and we rolled,
Coach, the running game today, your thoughts on Spencer Ware coming basically off the street, contributing today, and also more game production in Darwin. How you would talk about that?
Yeah, so all three guys I thought contributed. Spencer brings a little different flavor, just downhill. I'm sure he's going to be a little sore tomorrow. He hadn't done much, so but he did a heck of a job, I thought, coming in and playing. So he knows the offense. Yeah.
Talk about Patrick's his leadership.
Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah, I can't say enough about the guy. So he does a heck of a job. Never lets anything get him down, or he's tough, and he just keeps pounding. So, and you saw that on some of those long third down plays where he just keep firing, and good things are going to happen. So.
And then you call those timeouts in that first drive, just to, and then that's leadership.
Good leader.
Randy, third straight week, your defense has made plays to help you win the game. Do you feel like you can finally say you've turned a corner there?
Yeah, well, that's hard to say in the National Football League. So, but I could tell you that every week we've gotten better. We had a little bit of a hiccup at Tennessee, but other than that, it's been consistent progress forward. I think Spags and the coaches there have done a heck of a job. Most of all, the players have bought in, right? They're flying around and making plays, and they were able to get to Tom and do some nice things, did some good things in the run game, and ended up putting it down right there at the end and made some plays.
Your game plan was obviously to get pressure on him. Did you feel like you did that?
Yeah, I think we did. Now, listen, he's a battler now, and so that team's got a big heart, and so they battled back, but when it came down to it, defense was on really the field last on plays that really were real plays other than taking a knee. So.
You often talk about each game being a learning experience. How can a win against that team in this place be something that you use moving forward in one of those character?
I kept hearing all week about 4 quarters of football. The guys, 4 quarters of football. They kept talking about that. And so you've got to do that. You want to play against the best. I mean, these are the reigning world champions. So if you're going to do that, then you better be mentally prepared to play for 4 quarters. I thought the guys did that. I mean, that's what ended up happening, and I'm proud of them for that.
Coach, the referees had to make some pretty big calls to some pretty big moments in this game. I know it's part of the game, but for you guys, like, how do you feel about the officiating?
Yeah, I think it's give and take. I mean, that's what it was. We had too many penalties. I mean, I said that they had 5, we had 10. I think. I mean, it was too many for about 100+ yards. So I mean, but those things are give and take. It's all part of the human element of the game, and whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, but it all works its way out. So
Last 2, we'll go over here.
Coach, just last question for me.
this is a tough question.
Well, the Patriots, come in, they defeat the team for the AFC Championship, and last time you all played them here, you left time on the clock. This time around, you still left time on the clock, but you were able to, to stop them. How big is it, especially knowing that you may have to come back here next January and play this team again at home?
Yeah. There's a chance of that too, right? So we understand that. I mean, the season's not over. I mean, this is we've still got the remaining of the season to go here. That we've got to take care of, and like I told you, I mean, Denver's playing good football right now. The Locke kid is playing well at the quarterback spot. So we got to. These are short-lived, and we understand it's plenty of season left. So we got to really bear down the stretch here. Yeah, competitive. I think both teams competitive, playing to the whistle. That's all part of this thing, and you try to manage it the best you can, right? I mean, the guys, it's an emotional game, and sometimes we forget about that these guys, I mean, that's what it's all about, and they're young guys, and so us old people, right? Us old people don't have any hair. I'm with you here, so I got it. We can sit there and critique that however we want to critique it, but these are young guys that are getting after it and competing, man, both sides. I mean, it was a down drag out, so I mean, that's all right. We break it up and let them go play some more.
Last one, BJ.
Each of the last 3 weeks, it seems like it's been a different defensive guy that made those game-changing plays. And tonight, there were multiple guys, but Rashad Breeland, his interception and his play on 4th down. Can you speak to what you saw from him throughout the week and how he's developed in his play?
Yeah, so you look at him. He's another one that banged his knee on the last play before half, and he shook that off, got it all right, and came back. He had some penalties, shook that off, came back, competed, and you have to be able to do that. Everything's not going to be roses in a game like that. There are going to be ups and downs, and how you persevere through it. I mean, you got to make sure that you battle, and that's where that whole 4-quarter thing comes in, BJ. I mean, it's you got to be able to do that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, good.
You guys
Thanks.
hang tight.
One of the turning points in this game was your interception early in this game. Can you just walk me through that play?
Man, it was 3-by-1. Edelman, when Edelman at number 1, he's not going deep. He running like a little air route. So, you know what I mean? My eyes after that, once I saw him go underneath, I just climbed. And as I was climbing, he threw the ball, and I just made a play on the ball.
All right, same thing, last play of the game, 4th down. Yeah. Game's on the line. Can you walk me through that one?
Man, it was only 2 routes that I can get from the formation that it was in. 3-by-1 again. Edelman at number 3. Normally he run the over, but in that down and distance, you really don't have the space to really run over the field to get the ball. So I knew it was going to be 7 or either the over, and he outside released, and I just undercut it and played the ball.
One of the best areas that you guys were tonight on 3rd down, forced the Patriots go 2 for 12. What was it about what you guys were able to do in crunch time that was able to help pull out that win?
Our D-line did a good job of really stopping the run. Once they put them in 3rd and long, they really allowed us to eat and allowed the D-line to really go out there and have fun. Make plays, get pressure. They was putting pressure on him, making him make errant throws, and we just played our guys.
I know you'd rather be at Arrowhead Stadium celebrating a division title. With the Raiders losing, you guys winning, you won the AFC West. The 4th straight year the Chiefs have done that. How good does it feel to do it on the road here in Foxborough?
I feel great, especially against New England. Tom Brady, man, couldn't do it any better. Couldn't ask for any better setting.
We'll talk about grit and guts. This guy has shown it ever since he's been in the National Football League. Now he's shown it for the Chiefs, Frank Clark. Did you practice at all this week?
Probably for a total time of 45 minutes of practice time this week. Honestly, the longest time I had practice was pregame warm-ups, just seeing football action. Man, it was a long week, but pushed through, got the job done, and I'm just thankful to come out there healthy, healthier than I went in, as you say.
The reason I ask you, it's a supreme compliment that you just gutted through this game. You were able to get pressure on Tom Brady. What was the key there of you getting pressure on him at key times in specific?
It's like, sometimes when I was younger, I used to, you be hurt and you're out of a game and you don't focus still. You're not looking at your matchup. You're not doing the thing that you need to do to prepare yourself mentally, because you never know if you're gonna play. That's the thing. I didn't know if I was gonna play or not, but I always wanted to be in tune mentally with what was going on, so that if I did get out there, I can make the play. And that's kind of what happened. Thank God my coaches trusted me enough when I said I was healthy enough to play, that they just gave me a shot, and I was able to capitalize.
Well, tough enough to play this game and just gutted it out, fighting the shoulder injury and also being sick. But this defense, Frank, I want to ask you, because this is not 3 weeks in a row. This isn't 1 week. This is a month's worth of work. What's going on with this defense? Because it looks like it's happening at all 3 levels.
Man, it felt like we bossing up out there. That's about it. Just trusting each other, believing in each other, and just letting it all bleed, bleeding together. It's a tough sport. We got injuries at different positions. We got, guys going down. Everything, it seems like it's happening for the worst sometimes, but it just comes full circle. And when you just focus on the you and, keep everything in-house and, not get too involved in everything that's going on outside, what people are talking about, this is what happened. This is the result of it. I feel like that's what's happening. We're ignoring all the news. We're not really focused on that. We focus more on each other. And we're just taking everything in stride, man, and going a game at a time.
Frank, I have to ask you, I talked to Tano about it earlier in this week. The coverage is helping us up front. But in this game, too, you were helping the coverage. What about when you get the whole yin and yang, where sometimes you get helped by the secondary and sometimes you help them?
Yeah, there's nothing like it. Like I said, if people don't know, that's really the twin brothers on the defense, the secondary and the defensive line. As long as we working in cahoots, I get on the secondary all the time. I'm like, man, hey, as long as y'all hold them, we'll get the sack. But if we get the pressure, y'all get the pick. So if that makes sense, we go all work together, So the idea we living behind, man. As long as we just doing our job defensively, especially in the front seven, including our linebackers, we take the pressure off our back end. They shouldn't have to get tackles, if the front seven doing their job. Then if vice versa, we shouldn't be running all the way down the field chasing the play if, the secondary is doing their job. So at the end of the day, we're just playing together, man, having fun doing it.
And finally, you've been blessed to play on teams that every December game matters. It's a blessing. But now stacking them up and keeping it rolling to going into Denver next week and staying right on it. Everything's in play.
Yeah, it's in play, man. You just got to keep on going. You got to keep on going, keep your head down, and keep chopping wood. The moment you look up, that's when you get lost. You get lost. In the middle of your work, you can't look up. That's when you get lost. You got to stay dedicated to the work, stay dedicated to your teammates and your coaches, and just, listen to the game plan, key in, because this one teams start to shift, as you've seen. We ain't gonna mention names, but you see, in these later months, you see teams start to shift and fall off, like I've been saying. And you see other teams who stay the course, they start to come together and they start to build and they start to excel and go past everyone else. They deal with the injuries, they deal with those things. You understand that those are things that's gonna happen in the NFL. And we just been taking everything and using it to our advantage, and you're seeing the results of it.
No, never. For me, I'm playing until they take me out.
That did affect your ability, you think, to throw a deep ball?
Yeah, I mean that, as well as they put a lot of too high, and they did a little bit where they went over the top of Tyreek and did stuff like that. We obviously hit McCole later on that after I did the hand injury, and he scored a big touchdown. But I mean that's a really good defense. I mean they've been really good for a long time, especially this year. And for us to go out there and put 23 points up, I mean that shows that we're going in the right direction. Obviously we didn't have the second half that we wanted, but we're still going in that direction.
How do you weigh beating this team that beat you twice last year versus another victory?
Yeah, I think it's just another step in this season, honestly. I mean, for us, we dealt with adversity through the middle of the season as far as injuries or losses that we didn't expect to have before the season started. But this team is building every single week. The defense is getting better. The offense is still rolling and doing good things. We're still getting better. And it's part of the process. It's day by day. Obviously, we wanted to get this step. We wanted to win this game, win the AFC West, but we're still going. And that's how we're going to keep rolling throughout the rest of the season and into the playoffs.
What do you say to your teammates when Kelsey, they reversed the call and it was a fumble? You were in the huddle. What did you say to the players to get them fired up?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just try to put it in perspective. I mean, we were still winning by 10 points at that time, or I believe it was 10 points at that time going into the fourth quarter. If you would have asked for that going into the game, you would have took it. And so for us, I mean, we didn't have a lot going our way at that moment, but I pretty much said that. I said, we're right where we want to be at. We just now have to go out and execute a little bit better. We're still moving the ball and just try to find a way to put points on the board. We didn't, but luckily the defense kind of saved us there.
Now, were you worried the gear wasn't going to show up? Sorry. Were you worried the gear wasn't going to show up today at all?
No, I mean, that is crazy. It was a crazy thing, but I love those equipment guys, and it was kind of a weird thing that happened there in the gear, but they let us know that it would be here before we went out there, and so we might have had to share helmets if it didn't get here.
Was your stuff?
Mine was not here, so I had to warm up in some different stuff than I played in, but it was here in time for me to be able to go out to the real warm-up. And so just going out there, I mean, they always keep extra stuff around, and so they took care of us and found a way to make it work, and we just kept rolling.
You always, we joke about leaving too much time on the clock after last year's game against the Patriots. Even though they had the ball towards the end of the game, did you think that Brady might work his magic one more time in the game in overtime?
No, I have ultimate trust in our defense to go out there and get that stop. I mean, they've done it the last few weeks now, and they've done it this season in certain points. And for me, it's the same trust that I had in the defense and the guys last year. I mean, they're going out there and they're doing their job. They've built for these moments, and they've built, and you're seeing kind of the results of it now. And like I said, we're still the same team that came in at the beginning of the season. We still have the same goals, and we're going to keep building as the season goes on. And I think that's the biggest thing. And we're not done yet. I mean, obviously, like I said, it's a big step, but our goal is to get to the playoffs and then try to get to the Super Bowl.
Steve, one second. Yep, Steve, go ahead.
Patrick, seems like you're always coming up with something new. Seems like you've invented the fadeaway pass, throwing the ball off your back foot. Talk about the deep throw to Miko. How were you able to throw that on such a line as you did?
Yeah, I mean, I saw with the coverage, they were kind of doing that thing where they were kind of trying to double or kind of put an extra guy with Tyreek. And I knew if McCole, with his route, if he could get the guy to come kind of go underneath him, then he was going to be able to break out and be open. Obviously, they had, I think, a five-man rush, and so the guy was getting a little bit of pressure on me. So I tried to buy an extra tick, put the ball out there. I didn't want to overthrow him, so I kind of threw it a little shorter where he could adjust because I knew he was going to be open. And then with that guy, if you get the ball in his hand, I mean, he can make plays happen. And you saw that. He got it, and he was in open space, and he went and scored a touchdown. No, not necessarily. I mean, I believe every single week that we're going to win. We respect, and we come in with the mentality that we're going to go out there and give our best effort. But we expect to win every single game that we step on that field.
So the Patriots, we're hearing nationally, it's a couple of well-known guys going to talk about what's done. They're not the team they were. It's over, the dynasty. And then you're coming out here saying these guys are as tough as they've ever been. Tell us how much respect you have for the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, they play the game the right way, I think, is the biggest thing. If they're not clicking on offense or they're not clicking on defense or not clicking on special teams, the other unit picks them up. And so for me, when you have a team that plays the game the right way, that finds ways to win games, even if they're not supposed to win them, you know that they're going to be there in the end in the playoffs. And so for us, we understand that. We understand that they're still sitting at the 2 or 3 or whatever seeded it is, and we understand that we're going to have to come out every single week, and then when we get to the playoffs, we probably have to play them or another great team in this AFC to try to get to the Super Bowl.
Right there. Patrick, what's it like, going and seeing Tom right after this game? I was a lot of craziness. Were you able to say anything back and forth to each other?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of the usual stuff you say as a quarterback. Obviously, I mean, I have utmost respect for him and the way he plays the game and the consistency at the high-level football he's played for 20 years or whatever it is. I mean, he's built this place with Belichick to be at the top of the league every single year. And so for us, I mean, it was a great game, but I'm still going to show him the respect he deserves.
Last one, B.
I know you'd probably rather have wrapped up the division at Arrowhead Stadium, but winning the division guarantees you a home playoff game. 2 of the last 3 regular season games are at home. Just what's your message to Chiefs fans who watch this on TV, knowing that you guys are coming back to Arrowhead next Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, we're still building. We get to play 2 division opponents at Arrowhead, so those are going to be tough games. We need you out there loud and showing that support that you always do, because we're coming with that mentality of winning games.
All right, thank you.
I know it wasn't your guys' end goal, but just how does it feel to be able to do that? I know you'd rather do it at Arrowhead, but doing it here in Foxborough, how does it feel?
I mean, it feels good. This is one of our goals we wanted to accomplish out of the year, winning the division. Now, obviously, we got bigger goals ahead of us, but it's just checking, what we want to do off a checklist. So.
The touchdown early in the game. Can you just walk me through that play? It's one of the bigger plays in the game. Got the momentum going on the Chiefs side.
Yeah, Coach called my number. It was like an angle route, whatever it was. I just took the opportunity single high. I knew I had a chance over there to catch it. I seen the first dude miss, the dude that was on me, and I knew I had to beat the safety, so I was aware of what I was around. Beat the safety, got in the end zone.
What's going through your mind when you see the ball float up there? You know you're one-on-one down the field.
Catch it. That's all, focus on catching it first, and then whatever happens.
What kind of statement do you feel like this is, knowing that the AFC for the last 2 decades has almost run through Foxborough? For you guys to come into their house, break an 18-game winning streak, what does it say about you guys?
It just show you, what kind of team we is, and how hard we've been working, and how hard we've been, grinding at practice, and just, good to see things clicking, on all phases. Trying to get everything going, try to play a complete game every time we out there playing. So definitely it feels good to be out here.
The fact that there were a couple of miscues, there were a fumble, there's the block punt. What does it say about you guys? You're able to overcome and still plot it.
Yeah, it's gonna be adversity through the game, man. And how will we handle the adversity is what is going to determine our mindset as a team and our identity as a team. So I think we best bet well for it, and we keep it at that.
And last question: how excited are you to take it, AFC West championship team, back to Arrowhead next week against the Denver Broncos?
Ready to have the trial rocking, man. I think they're gonna be excited. It's gonna be fun, man, and just go out there and have another complete game, man, and do it from there.
All right, it's a moment. Winning in Foxborough again, winning the division, and with the NFL MVP. What about the complete nature of this victory? Kind of feels like the last two.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how you win when the season gets late and you get in this December-type football. It takes offense, defense, and the special teams. And so for us, it's good to be able to have a good first half, maybe not have the second half that we wanted, and the defense kind of pick us up and get the win for us.
I want to ask you about the touchdown drive, the first one, the throw off your back foot to find McCole, and then him just jetting out of the end zone. But you overcame a lot of adversity on that drive. What about the ability to hit it?
Yeah, we've done that all year long. We've been able to kind of go through adversity and find ways to still score points. Obviously, we got to kind of clean up the penalties and stuff like that. But I felt like the offensive line did a great job all game of keeping me clean, and it was about just kind of finding McCole. And when you get him in space for us.
Third time you've played these guys in 14 months. How much did that help you? Because you see everything when you play these guys.
Yeah, I think those 2 games I played last year helped me entirely for this entire season. The way they showed me the different looks, I was able to have to adjust on the fly. It's helped me this season. And to see them again, obviously, they're a great football team, a great defense, but it helped me able to find answers quicker than I maybe not found last year.
I want to ask you, too, on the second touchdown drive, Kels's effort play gets off the ground, gains 20 yards, and just the effort Kels has given you this season and in this game.
Yeah, he's had a great season. Not the touchdowns, but still having the same impact in the game, and he's able to extend drives. That play right there, he was like the 4th read, and he just came open and found a way to get himself open on a big 3rd down, and then he got it down there and then ran it in for us.
One thing that's overlooked, though, you ate up over 6 minutes on that field goal drive to start the third quarter. What about that drive and just showing some grit and guts and extending the lead and eating time?
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of set the tempo for the second half. Obviously, like I said, we didn't have that momentum going into the fourth quarter, but it just kind of gave us that momentum to kind of put our stamp on the second half and get that lead and build that lead to where our defense could go out there and kind of close it out.
And then finally, Patrick, to stack them up. Division titles here, so that check that box. But now to keep stacking it up because the 1 and 2 seed is in play.
Yeah, exactly. And we've had that same mentality that we've had since the beginning of the season, and that's to get better each and every week. And we play as a team, and we're getting better. And we understand now we get to play 2 of these last 3 games at home against division opponents. And we're excited to be able to go out there and try to finish out the season strong.
All right, Art, thank you very much. We are down here. Coach, congratulations, first of all, on the victory. I thought you had a great game plan today. I thought your execution was good. But more importantly, I thought your adjustments tonight were unbelievably swift.
Yeah, listen, I was proud of EB and Spags for how they handled this whole thing, and Dave Tobe. And, you get a win like this, it's everybody, the assistant coaches. Brendan Daly talked to the team beforehand, before last night, at our meeting. So he gave him some words of wisdom, which I thought he did a heck of a job with. And so, listen, all around, and then most of all, I'm proud of those players. They never gave up. They challenged right down to the end. You knew this thing somehow, some way was going to come down to the end, and they battled, and Bill's a great coach, and Tom Brady. Both of them are Hall of Famers. So it was a great victory.
Seemed like you were working out on the offensive side of the ball. Seems like you were working out of tight splits and the bunch set a lot today. What did you see in the New England Patriots that made you thought you could be effective that way?
Well, we tried to mix it up a little bit the best we could. And so they got us a little. We were off just by a tick, and you got to give them credit. So, but we did enough where we weren't turning the ball over and doing those things. Well, we had the one, I guess, with Kels, but other than that, we weren't turning the ball over, and there were some good things there.
I thought the defense tonight was so physical. I mean, Tom Brady's driving down there. He gets in his red zone. Alex Okafor just politely goes up and sacks him. I really felt like they were as physical as I've seen them this year.
Yeah, well, Dan, they've been getting better and better every week, and we had the hiccup in Tennessee, but other than that, it's been progress and more progress. So we got a long way to go, though. We're not done. I mean, this wasn't the end of the season, so we got to keep rolling, and we got a Denver team that's hot in front of us, so we got to make sure that we get ourselves ready for that game.
Spencer Ware comes in here, familiar with the offense, but man, it was good to see. He runs. He's got that kind of angry run to him. It was good to see him out there. When you need 2 yards, 3 yards, you can get it out of Spencer Ware.
Well, you can. He'll probably be a little sore tomorrow, so we'll have to manage him there and get him back. But yeah, it was good to get him in there and pounding away, and all three backs contributed. So it was a productive day for them.
Well, listen, congratulations on your 7th winning season, but perhaps the most important, your 4th consecutive AFC West title. Coach, I just can't tell you that your consistency in winning, man, what a fun ride this has been.
Well, appreciate you being here. We're all in it together. We all have our part, so it's important everybody does their part and does it well, and we got a good bunch, so we take advantage of that and keep winning.
Enjoy this one for as much as you can, and then I know we're on hosting Denver next week.
Good. Yeah, I can't wait to get back at Arrowhead and have our fans involved here, man. We love them.
Thanks, Coach. All right, Art.
We mentioned earlier in the show the solar system looks different now because Kansas City has a chance to stack up some more. Yes, they've won the division. Check that box. But Barbershop, this one is back into play. They're going to need some help. But here comes Denver. They're full of confidence. And Drew Lock, the former Missouri star and Lee Summit star, is coming to town brimming with confidence.
Hey, as you can see on the shirts, the AFC West is not enough. And that's a statement how we want to finish the season and how we want to go into each ball game. No looking back, no steps back. And we know with Denver coming in town, they want to end up their season on a hot note. Yep. They want to try to end this year, going into the offseason, knowing who their quarterback of the future is, counting on their run game, their defense. And when they come to Arrowhead, we got a chance to just turn that all around.
Yeah, when you go back and look at history with Andy Reid in Kansas City, remember the Chiefs had a 10-game winning streak going into the playoffs and were able to win at Houston. And then they had a streak going in last year coming into the playoffs hot. So there's 3 weeks to go. But you've mentioned if you can stack them up, you want to go into the postseason. You know you're going to be there now with the division title, but you would love to go in screaming into it. And you've got tiebreakers right now over the 1 and 2 seeds. So if you can get there to a tie, you could still have a bye to open the playoffs.
Yeah, making New England win the rest of their games, making the Ravens win the rest of their games throughout the season, it should put pressure on us, but that's what we want. We want that pressure so we can end the season on a hot note, end the season with momentum going our way. I like what our offense is doing. I love what our defense is doing. Yeah. And we can clean up a couple things on punt coverage, that kind of thing. But as we go throughout this season, we definitely want to make sure we're playing our best ball heading into the postseason.
Yeah, but let's talk about the defense here as we kind of close out this edition of Chiefs Rewind and just what has happened that this team now, it wasn't 1 week in Mexico City. It wasn't 2 weeks in Oakland. It's 3 weeks. And now you beat the GOAT Tom Brady here. This defense maybe putting something together at all 3 levels, and they're going to come in brimming with confidence to next week's game against Denver.
You said it, confidence, trust, and compatibility. Our defensive secondary, mainly our 3 safeties, they're out there manipulating and working off each other like I haven't seen before. The trust level on our back end is allowing our guys up front to really get after other teams' quarterback. And when you see the back end playing that way, it allows our run defense to come together. You can't run the ball, you can't pass the ball, hey, game over, Chiefs win.
As New England, the first thing you have to do is win the division. They've won it 10 straight times here, but they're not out of the woods. For the Chiefs, Division 1. But now, get ready for the Denver Broncos in an emotional game coming up at Arrowhead Stadium. He's Shawn Barber. I'm Mitch Holthus, enjoying a victory in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Chiefs Rewind is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs, and by Community America Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.